For the overwhelming majority, they've been false alarms. People are just that scared.
This morning, the immigration crackdown, how local agencies are combating misinformation.
Plus, two big names coming to Camp Randall. A look at the economic impact these big shows could have on our area. Good morning and welcome to News 3. Now this morning on a Tuesday, I'm Kyrie Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. Got some pink skies.
Yeah, I think this is my morning picture. It kind of looks like this morning.
It does. It does.
Those cotton candy clouds, gotta love them. And you know, I just get excited thinking about the forecast. Savannah's finally brought us just a little bit of good news for this winter season.
Yeah,
I can finally stop complaining.
I mean, it's like spring-like temperatures on the forecast. Savannah's out on the patio this morning. It's like one extreme or the other. It's either like we get those we haven't had much of a stretch of seasonable temperatures.
Yeah.
And this morning, it's the wind.
It is the wind. We're going to eventually see that wind increase. You can see calm right now, but quickly right up to about 15 miles per hour. That's in between now and the lunchtime hour. So no wind chill currently, but that's really going to change when you factor that in. It'll still feel about 10 degrees or so cooler, but a lot warmer than even what we had yesterday. And yesterday we were well above average. 25 right now, our average nighttime temperature 11, and we're not going to see temps fall anymore. We'll continue to rise. We're looking at mild and breezy conditions though the next few days. The mild air is actually going to stick around through the week and even weekend, but early next week, that's when temperatures are going to fall again after two systems that we're tracking heading into this upcoming weekend. We'll time those out coming up.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you then. To our top stories this hour, the Fitchburg Police Department is dispelling rumors that it's involved with ICE.
In a Facebook post, the department says it investigated rumors and found there is nothing to substantiate it. The department says police officers do not ask about immigration status. Their statement reads in part, quote, "Every community member has the right to access our services equally, whether it's reporting crime or seeking assistance, regardless of background, national origin, or immigration status." They also urge residents not to spread false information.
Other Wisconsin agencies are working to stop the spread of misinformation as well about where ICE agents are conducting raids. The national president of Forward Latino says they have a rigorous vetting process that shows them where ICE activity happened. It confirmed activity in Fort Atkinson, Whitewater, and Racine.
Those were individual, what appear to be isolated incidents and no major large-scale raids. But these were individuals that had been targeted previously by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and don't believe it really has a whole lot to do, other than timing, with the change in policy at the federal level. For the overwhelming majority, they've been false alarms. People are just that scared.
The president of Forward Latino says deportations could impact Wisconsin construction, manufacturing, and ag industries.
And UW Athletics is looking into accusations of mistreatment by former student athlete Tessa Towers. In a TikTok post, Towers claimed UW women's basketball coach Marissa Mosley made her sign a release form in order to access her therapy sessions. Towers also claims Mosley told her that if she mentioned her suicidal thoughts to her therapist, she would be kicked off the team. In a statement released last night, UW Athletics said, quote, "We are aware of comments shared online by former Badger student athlete Tessa Towers, and we'll be looking into this matter. We care deeply about the physical and mental well-being of all student athletes on our teams during their times on campus."
Former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gao is suing the universities of Wisconsin to be reinstated as a professor. Regents removed Gao as chancellor in 2023 for making online pornography with his wife. Last year, he lost his tenured professor position for violating terms of his contract and violating the school's reputation. Gao argues the firing from his professor position violates his free speech rights.
Time now, 6:03. Country artist Morgan Wallen announced he'll be coming to Camp Randall in June, joining Coldplay in bringing back live music to the stadium. Our Kyle Pozorski shares the economic impacts concerts like this could have.
The economic impact having a concert here at Camp Randall can go far beyond just that of benefiting the performer. It can help out small businesses and hotels here in the Madison area.
This is big money.
Jason Ilstrup of Downtown Madison Inc. says with the announcement of both Coldplay and Morgan Wallen coming to Camp Randall,
there's some reason to be excited for a boost to the area economy.
But the folks that are coming in from, say, Minneapolis or Chicago for this show are going to be in a hotel for a night or two. They're going to go down to State Street and shop at the shops. They're going to eat at these restaurants.
The last time a concert took place at Camp Randall was the Rolling Stones in 1997. While the 76,000-seat stadium is a bit too big for some acts, others that have come through Madison have shown that the city has potential to bring in more artists.
And there's no other venue in this area or in this region that can handle concerts like that. We're still seeing a lot of concerts at Alliant Energy Center. Last summer, there were 8 concerts at Breeze Stevens. There are concerts scheduled at the Kohl Center as well. So we're seeing them in all these different venues. It just depends on really the size and strength of that act and how many folks want to come and see them.
Even with the demand of Coldplay and Morgan Wallen, each are only doing one performance, leaving some room to prove that Madison can handle the large-scale acts.
If these shows are successful, which Coldplay was right away, sold out within a few hours, I think we're going to see a lot more shows here at Camp Randall.
Illustrup expects close to $4 million of direct economic spending from the Morgan Wallen concert alone. At Camp Randall Stadium, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Well, this morning we are talking about your credit. It is something that follows you throughout your financial life and will affect you when it comes to getting services like utilities, mortgages, and loans.
Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, is here with how you can become more financially literate. Good morning.
Chris, Kyrion, good morning. A poor credit score can make it more difficult to get services, and future employers can also check your credit score. Your score is made of your credit history. The largest factor in your credit history is whether or not you pay your bills on time. Financial expert Sarah Brendan and first vice president of Park Bank says that budgeting is one thing you can do to help make on-time payments.
Having a budget that accounts for timing of when bills are coming in or out of your accounts is helpful for sure, because on-time payments, when we're talking about credit and building credit, it's the most important factor towards building and maintaining a positive credit score.
She also says that budgeting can be a daunting task, so if you need help, anyone at your local community bank would be more than happy to sit down and have that conversation to get you started. Stick around for the next half hour. I'll be back with the full report and 3 tips to help you raise your credit score.
All right, good information. Michelle Renee, thank you. Speaking of your money, tax season is here, and that means it's time to start getting those documents together ahead of the April 15th deadline. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the best way for filers to get their refunds within 21 days is to file electronically and use direct deposit. But is it necessary to hire a tax preparer to get your return?
It depends on the complexity of your life. Some people think it's just, oh, I have a lot of money versus not. But if you're just a wage earner, a W-2, by the way, keep your eye out for all these tax documents. They come via snail mail very often. But if you're a wage earner, you could probably do it yourself.
Schlesinger adds that those with more complex returns could benefit from a professional, like business owners, being self-employed, or those who sell real estate.
This morning, all eyes are on Wall Street after a rough start yesterday. U.S. chipmaker NVIDIA had the biggest one-day loss by a company ever, dropping nearly $600 billion in market value. It's due to a China-based startup new tool called DeepSeek. The year-old company revealed its own ChatGPT-like artificial intelligence model, R1. Analysts say it has the abilities of other models, but it's cheaper to operate. DeepSeek says it spent less than $6 million to train the new model. That says other tech companies are forking out hundreds of millions and even billions for the same work. NVIDIA's chips are currently the top choice to power AI applications.
Well, more local news this morning. Madison police are investigating after multiple vehicles were broken into on the city's east side. Happened around 7:30 last Friday morning. Officers were called near Mar Road, Camden Road, and Buckeye Road. In some cases, nothing was taken. Vehicles were rummaged through and just left, but in others, loose change and smaller items were taken. Police haven't made any arrests. If you have any information that could help out authorities, contact Madison area Crime Stoppers.
Construction company Findorf will transition to 100% employee ownership. The Madison-based company introduced an employee stock ownership plan yesterday. Their operation structure and leadership will stay the same. However, the company has been involved in several notable projects in southern Wisconsin, like renovations at the American Family Children's Hospital.
Wisconsin dairy farmers are making more milk with fewer cows. That's according to the USDA's latest milk production report. In 2024, Wisconsin produced nearly 2.7 billion pounds of milk. That's about 300 million gallons. It's a slight increase compared with December 2023 numbers. And it's all done with 5,000 fewer cows. The USDA says that the increase in productivity is because of better nutrition, genetics, and herd management.
Our community baby shower is in full swing, and we are asking people to donate baby essentials to help families across the region. This is an all-hands-on-deck initiative here. The items needed most include diapers, pull-ups, baby wipes, and formula. Items can be dropped off at the Babies and Beyond Donation Center located on South Stoughton Road.
Yeah, one of the items that they really needed were 3T baby clothes, right? Those are some of the ones that fly off the shelves the fastest.
Yes, some of those 3T, especially girls' clothes. The boys' clothes seem to be doing okay, but the girls' clothes, a lot of those bins are just empty. So if you have any extra girls' clothes, I know I have quite a bit that I will be, donating over the course of the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's going on right now. All right, 6:09, let's check in with Savannah, see what's coming up in your forecast. Hey, Savannah.
Hey guys, winds right now are calm, so we don't have a wind chill forecasted. We'll talk about when that'll change though coming up.
All right, now we're in focus, right? Coming up in your morning sports, the pair of players that have Wisconsin men's basketball scoring at a record pace.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:13 on your Tuesday. A recent study shows that travel isn't just for fun. It could also be a defense against aging. CBS News' Winnie Gillette reports.
From Mexico to Spain, Australia to Belize, and just about everywhere in between, Christina Golick has adventures.
I have learned so much that the world is so much bigger than what I thought it was.
Golick has visited more than 40 countries, and now the former Phoenix resident lives on the road full-time.
I'm really interested in learning about what it's like to live in different parts of the world and different sizes of communities, too.
And that may be keeping her feeling young, according to a recent study published in the Journal of Travel Research. Researchers from Edith Cowan University near Perth, Australia, found travel can bring more positive emotions and improve physical and mental wellness.
Positive tourism experiments, they may have the potential to slow the biological aging process.
Those positive travel experiences also include visiting therapeutic environments like the sea and engaging in more physical activities and social interactions. The study says negative travel experiences can have the opposite effect. Golick sees the health benefits from her travel.
I haven't driven in 5 years. It's great. It's fantastic. You walk multiple miles a day just for everyday errands.
The researchers say more studies are needed to determine which types of trips are the most beneficial for travelers. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Researchers also say travel can stimulate stress response and elevate metabolic rates. It could improve the body's self-defense systems as well. Some good reasons to book a vacation. All right, let's see what the weather's doing here locally. Checking in with Savannah Burrito. What can we expect today?
Yeah, today will be a little bit warmer than what we had even yesterday. 46 today, mild, well above average. In fact, we're almost 20 degrees above average, but it is going to remain breezy. Even this morning, we're warm. 26 was our current temperature. Might see that fall 1 more degree, but then we rebound quickly. Already going to be close to 40 by noon, and then 44 by 5 p.m. So after we do achieve those mid, maybe even a couple spots that reach the upper 40s, we don't fall much even going into the evening. Our winds right now are calm, so we don't currently have a wind chill, but these are quickly going to increase. By 9 in the morning, we're already going to see gusts between 15 and up to 20 miles per hour, but northwest of Madison, those are going to be slightly higher. So Viroqua, La Crosse, Black River Falls, Camp Douglas, even the Dells, those places are going to be closer to 25 to 30 miles per hour. Everyone's going to be about 35 to 40 though, so very breezy day. You can see those winds, the arrows moving very fast. We're looking at gusts that are still going to be about 25 to 30 miles per hour tonight into tomorrow. So overall, the next 48 hours breezy, and that's the way things are going to stay for at least a little while. When you factor in the winds that are going to gust strong, we will see wind chills factored in this morning at about 9 a.m. So mid-morning, those are expected to be in the upper teens, lower 20s, but we will warm up as we get close to the high of the day. This is 2:30 p.m. Our air temperatures, those are going to be close to the mid-40s, even a couple areas that maybe top out closer to 50. Our wind chills, when you factor those in, will be down to the lower to even mid-30s. That's what it'll feel like outside. So it will feel about 10 or so degrees cooler, and then when wind chills factor those in tonight, We're not looking at much of one compared to what we will see and what we have seen the last couple of days and last week. We are eventually going to see a change in pattern. Yesterday, we still had this tan color across southern Wisconsin, and the blues kind of pushed northwest. Eventually, that's going to continue to come down into our area, so expect near normal temperatures. This is heading into that first week of February, but then after that, we are going to see some cooler air, probably by about early to midweek next week. That's after this system. This one Friday, Thursday into early Friday morning starts as rain, but then as temperatures fall into the early morning hours, we could see that transition in with a wintry mix, some freezing rain, sleet, and snow. Not much of an accumulation expected out of that one with our next system from the northwest that moves in. This likely going to be snow showers. The temperature forecast high on Saturday, 34. If we're able to stay around 32 or even under that, that would come as snow, but right now the forecast 34, so we could see some freezing rain even mix in with that secondary system as well Saturday into Sunday. And then after that, temperatures are going to fall. We're only looking at what's near normal, the mid to upper 20s next week.
In college basketball, you are lucky if you have that one player that can really score the rock, a true number one option. But the Badgers this year don't just have one, they have two top options, John and John. The pair have stepped into stardom this season, each scoring at least 16 points per game. They would be the top option on just about any team in the country, but together they've proven to be elite and are elevating each other's games.
And I think we just have fun hooping with each other. It's just fun to go out there and play with him every night. And he just showed you something new almost every night. You know, he can get to the rim, shoot the three, get to the midi. So I just love going out there hooping him, and he's a dog.
We're just out here having fun. He makes my job a lot easier, getting downhill and just being, you know, at the top of that scouting report. So, you know, I'm just loving being here and being able to play on the same team as him.
High school boys hoops, a top 10 matchup that lived up to the hype. Partyville brought out the Streamers early, jumping out to an 8-point lead with some help from Elijah Atcherberg. The Challengers, though, they were up to the test, responding with a 19-2 run where everything was going their way. This place was going crazy, and Kenley Rivest adds to the excitement. He had a couple of clutch threes in this one, but eventually the party was back on. It took all the way down to the wire, overtime to solve it, but Partyville would win it 70-65. Just like the men's basketball team, Wisconsin men's hockey comes in at 17 in this week's national rankings, back in the USCHO polls for the first time since late October. After a really slow start, the Badger men have been hot lately, only losing in regulation once in their last 17 contests. With 4 conference series remaining, Bucky sits in 4th place in the Big Ten. Next up for them is a border battle at number 4 Minnesota this weekend. That's your morning sports fix. Have a treasure-filled Tuesday.
All right,
Don't
Andrew.
you like that one?
Yep.
He keeps it interesting for us. That's all. That's all. Well, still ahead, why today is a good day to plan a vacation on this treasure-filled Tuesday, and how the NFL is wasting no time getting ready for the Super Bowl.
We're back right after this.
Welcome back. It's 6:23. Here's a sunrise from Linda. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and Linda is sharing hers like she always does, which we truly appreciate. Look at those clouds.
It almost looks fake.
Yeah.
Awesome shot.
Whoa. Like you said, cotton candy clouds, they are beautiful.
Yeah, but keep sending in those photos. Hashtag MyNews3Morning.
Thanks, Linda. Trending this morning, Super Bowl 59, and the league is wasting no time getting ready. The game balls are already being made with the special logos for Kyrion's Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
And the Eagles. They're made at a factory in Ada, Ohio. The two teams are going to each get a shipment of 108 balls plus a dozen more for the kickers. Some of the balls are going to be for practices, and the best ones are going to be set aside by the quarterbacks. About 50 of those will be bagged and locked away for each team until it's time for kickoff.
So are you guys just ready to see the Chiefs take over for this three-peat again? Like this three-peat?
I don't know.
I know there's a lot of fans that just don't want to see them win again.
You think they can get that third win?
I don't know. I mean, I do believe in them.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I think it'll be a good game.
It will be.
I think it'll be a good game.
Well, if you've been putting off vacation planning, today is the day to get it done. Millions of vacation days go unused each year, so that's why travel experts say planning ahead is key to making the most of your time off. So whether you're thinking about just a weekend getaway or that dream destination, do it for National Plan for Vacation Day. All right, you guys excited about getting some summer travel or any sort of travel on the books?
I think like this spring, summer, like I'm gonna do more weekend trips and then like maybe plan for some more long-term.
Yeah, I know.
Long-term ones.
Big vacation
I don't know where.
last year. I went to Alaska the year before that. So.
Hey,
went to Alaska.
You're due.
Okay.
So we'll have to do something this year.
Just gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It makes you happier and improves your overall well-being.
I do already have some trips on my agenda, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, here's the bus stop forecast. Windy but mild today, 46, and that's not even the warmest day that we're tracking for the work week. In fact, could see a 50 out there on Thursday. So it'll feel nice, but remember it is going to be breezy where winds gust up to 40 miles per hour, so we'll have wind chills factored in, but not the worst day.
Hold on to your hats today, though.
Yeah.
All right, keep it here. We're back with more News 3 Now this morning right after this.
In other words, what is written on those walls is excuses, excuses, excuses.
This morning, calling for action. What students and elected officials are saying about the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School.
Plus, the state Supreme Court race is heating up. Find out the key endorsements each candidate is receiving.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Hope your morning is off to a great start. As you're headed off the door, things a little chilly now, but not all day. Not all day.
Yeah, it's like the temperatures are warmed up,
Yes.
which is nice. Got some spring-like temperatures on the extended forecast, but we've got some wind out there to contend with today. Let's check in with Savannah Brito. She's out on the patio with your first warn weather. Hey there.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, no wind yet, but that's really going to change where gusts are going to be around 40 miles per hour through the afternoon. Right now we're at 25, no wind chill, but again, that will change quickly by mid-morning. Winds are already expected to pick up, and then there will be better wind chills or more wind chills in the forecast out there. But the coolest temperature, 17 in Lone Rock. Everyone else is really in the 20s, and will climb. 46 is the forecast high today, but again, it'll be breezy with the wind chill factored in. It'll feel about 10 degrees cooler, but at least even those wind chills should be above freezing level. Most of us are expecting wind chills in the mid-30s today, so a lot better than yesterday, and that trend will continue even though tomorrow is going to be cooler. We have warmer days ahead on Thursday, and then heading into this upcoming weekend, we'll talk about how warm it'll get and when we could see cooler temperatures return to the forecast. I'll have that coming up in a bit, guys.
All right, talk to you then. Time to get to our top stories this morning. It's been over a month now since the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, and the calls for action are starting to get louder.
Two state lawmakers hosted a public listening session to address community concerns regarding school safety. Dozens of people filled the room at the Monona Public Library last night. Elected officials, teachers, students, first responders, and school officials were in attendance. Some high school students stood up to speak to local leaders about how they see a need for change in schools.
They are stacked high with words like district policy. In other words, what is written on those walls is excuses, excuses, excuses. I'm here today because I frankly am fed up with how our world is looking and how students at our schools are feeling unsafe going into buildings. And I just really want people in power to be pushing for change.
The push for more security and mental health resources were the biggest request.
Our life is doing it better for the children every single step. And we have to keep our students and our staff safe. So if somebody's doing it better, then we need to look at that.
This is the latest conversation surrounding school safety. Governor Tony Evers recently announced the new Violence Prevention Office because of the ALCS shooting.
Well, the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court is starting to heat up. Conservative candidate Brad Schimmel faces Dane County Judge Susan Crawford. The race could flip the balance of power on the Supreme Court. That court will likely decide issues like abortion in Wisconsin and also key aspects of voting rights. It's a race so important that we saw Tesla's CEO and Donald Trump ally Elon Musk post about the race on social media. Here's what Schimmel had to say about having Musk's support.
I've never spoken with the world's richest man. It was a surprise to me when he tweeted out something recognizing that I exist. So I don't know where he's coming from. I'm grateful to have what appears to be his support in this. I'm not running on an agenda to go after anything.
Meanwhile, his opponent, Susan Crawford, has the support of the court's 4 current liberal justices, as well as Senator Tammy Baldwin. The state Supreme Court election is April 1st.
In a follow-up through his attorney, Wausau Mayor Doug Denny is calling for an ethics complaint filed against him to be dismissed. This all stems from the ballot drop box removal in late September. The CBS affiliate in Wausau received and published the 8-page response from the mayor's attorney. The letter says Denny did not do anything illegal or unethical, and the complaint should be dismissed. Almost 2 weeks ago, 8 people filed a complaint with the City of Wausau Ethics Board about that drop box removal.
7 governors now support Ben Wickler to be the chair of the Democratic National Committee. Wickler is currently the chair for the Wisconsin Democratic Party. Some of the governors backing Wickler include Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Andy Beshear of Kentucky, and Tina Kotek of Oregon. They say that Wickler is a unifier and will invest in governors. 448 DNC members are going to vote for chair this Saturday. Wickler says he has the support of 130 members and needs another 95 votes to win.
In consumer news this morning, the USDA says egg prices are expected to go up about 20% in 2025. The agency attributes this trend largely to the bird flu, and restaurants are being hit the hardest. The owner of Copper Top Restaurant says they use roughly 2,700 eggs a week to make all the items on their breakfast menu. He says for the past few months, they have been paying twice as much for a carton of eggs. He says it's about $108 compared to about $50 before the outbreak.
We were very optimistic after Christmas that the egg prices will come down, and now we're basically not as optimistic because the situation looks like it's going to continue.
He says last week Costco stepped in and sold him a case for closer to what they were paying before. However, if you are finding eggs too expensive, the Wisconsin Grocers Association recommends talking to your grocer. If you normally buy large white eggs, maybe try another type like small organic brown.
Well, if you do shop at Costco, check your refrigerator for Kirkland Signature Smoked Salmon. It's under a Class 1 recall this morning because of a listeria contamination. Officials say people who are exposed are likely to suffer some serious health problems. The FDA says the fish hasn't made anyone sick at this point that they know of. Still, they're being recalled. It's from Acme Smoked Fish Corporation. It was sent to stores in the Southeast late last year. The CDC says listeria infection is responsible for roughly 260 deaths per year.
The National Institutes of Health can resume purchasing supplies for internal research with current vendors. The agency put purchasing on hold last week after the Trump administration placed a moratorium on the release of public communication. The pause kept scientists from buying supplies like test tubes and food for lab animals. But NIH employees have received a new memo saying communication with external vendors is okay. The broader pause on external communications goes through Saturday.
Community organizations can now apply for money to get healthier food where it's needed. It's through the Dane County Partner in Equity program. Grants range from $2,000 to $4,000 and will focus on low-income and minority populations. Applicants have to tackle areas like increasing healthy and culturally relevant food, reducing food waste, or strengthening regional agriculture. The deadline to apply is February 24th. You can find out how at channel3000.com.
SSM Health Monroe is asking for the community's help to put food on students' tables. Health officials say in the Monroe School District, 1 in 7 children are food insecure. SSM Health Monroe launched their Backpack Buddies food drive to help. Community members can drop off items like granola bars, graham crackers, applesauce cups, and oatmeal packets at any SSM Health Monroe clinic location.
I know it seems like it should be in bigger urban areas, but really we have a lot of families that are in our neighborhoods right next door that need help getting groceries and food every week.
SSM Health Monroe provides more than 100 families with food every weekend. The Backpack Buddies food drive will run until this Monday. Well, the NFL draft in Green Bay is 3 months away, and if you're thinking of staying in that area, get ready for expensive hotel stays. And that's if you can even find a room right now.
Yeah, so there are other options, including RVs. Paul's Trailer and RV Center is about 18 miles south of Green Bay. They're seeing a lot of business right now ahead of the draft. The business is renting out campers. They're $150 per person per night. We talked with the owner who said that that's a far better rate than what a lot of hotels are offering.
We put some ads out to see what kind of response we would get. And I've looked into planning, things to where to put them and rent, hotel rooms and stuff. They're not really from what I have investigated into, not even available around anywhere.
Well, the camper models allow for up to 8 adults with the help of bunk beds. There you go, Kyron. You can all pack into a trailer.
I've never done the RV thing. I've heard it's pretty cool, but this one, 8 bunk beds, and that, like, I guess all you can do is sleep pretty much, because
with 8 people in there, not a whole lot of room for anything else. But I'm thinking, like, the time of year, it's late April, northeast Wisconsin. I mean, you can get some pretty chilly temperatures overnight, and not sure how good those heaters are in there. But, but if you're looking for an option, if you want to be around Green Bay for the draft and all the hotel rooms are booked or, like, way expensive, people are looking for these other options. So I do get it.
Like, some people just don't care. They're going to be there regardless, whether that's RV or
for
hotel.
their team.
Exactly.
It's dedication.
Yes. Well, coming up after the break, with credit card debt higher than ever, we'll take a look at what financial experts say you can do to improve your credit score.
And yes, we are mild for now, but all of that is going to change. We'll talk about which days and when cooler air is going to return to southern Wisconsin.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. The Hilldale Shopping Mall is getting a new store this week. On Friday, Sephora is set to open to the public. The makeup company will be hosting a scratch card prize promotion to celebrate the grand opening. Customers who visit between Friday and Sunday could win a selection of prizes. They include gift cards, Sephora collection picks, or a limited edition makeup bag.
Well, if you're hosting a Super Bowl party, you can budget about the same as that you did for last year for your snacks and drink. New survey from Wells Fargo shows that feeding 10 people with a spread of chicken wings, guacamole, chips, and beer is going to cost you about $139 this year. That's just 10 cents more than last year's price. The cost of beer and some other food items are up, while other items are down to help balance it all out.
Yeah, like we said, that total seems a little low.
139, yeah.
That's not too bad, but that might be give or take depending on how much those people eat.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to get out of a situation like that for $139.
Yeah, you can hardly go to the grocery store and buy 5 items for that price. So yeah, maybe I don't know where they went to shop, but let me know. Let me know.
There you go. All right, hey, let's check in with Savannah. See what we can expect when we step out the door this morning.
Good morning. We're not tracking a wind chill right now. Winds are not a huge factor. That all changes pretty quickly, though. 25 our air temperature. That was the forecast. We expected to fall, but now temperatures are going to warm up quickly. We're already going to be making a run for the 40s by the lunchtime hour, and as you can see, that's when winds sustained are expected to get up to around 15 miles per hour. But gusts, on the other hand, those are going to rise already by mid-morning. We're looking at 15 to 20 miles per hour, but everyone else north and northwest of Madison already ranging up to about 30 miles per hour, 25 to 30 miles per hour. Out of the southwest, then, those winds continue to increase through the lunchtime hour. We're looking everyone at least 30 miles per hour, but I do think some areas could range 35 to even 40 miles per hour. So another windy day out there, and that's not necessarily going to change this evening, tonight, and even into tomorrow. You can see winds don't change a lot. We're looking at 25 to even 30 miles per hour, and that will continue even into mid to late week. That's when temperatures are set to kind of fluctuate a little bit. Midweek, tomorrow will be a little bit cooler than today, but then tomorrow, the day after that, Thursday, will be warmer. Wind chills are not factored in right now, but by 9 a.m. as those winds continue to increase, we're looking at about the upper teens, lower 20s, somewhere near 20, based on what the wind chill feels like factored in. And then we warm up. 46 is the high, but as we reach that high for the day, we're still expecting winds to be factored in. Wind chills will be about 32 to 35 degrees. A couple areas could be a little bit warmer than that. So basically what we'll feel about 10 degrees cooler than the actual air temperature. Two systems that we're tracking most of the week dry, but then as we near Thursday night into Friday, some showers track in from the southwest. This is Friday at 1 a.m. showing some rain. Could make its way into southern Wisconsin if the track doesn't change at all based on our temperatures. I think we could see freezing rain, sleet, and even snow mix in with this. We're not looking at much of an accumulation. That system moves out of here pretty quickly. Ground temperatures have been warm, so maybe a few slick spots, but definitely not like what we had last week when we had that snow. The ground temperatures were really cold because this week we're so far above average, not necessarily thinking that'll be the case with minimal accumulations expected. Northwest, then, another system moves in, this one Saturday into Sunday. That, if temperatures are hovering about 32 or so, which that is in the forecast, starting starting as snow, but as temperatures warm into Sunday, if the system stalls a little bit, I think that could mix in with freezing rain and rain, because then temperatures will be warmer. We're looking at 34 and 43 for the highs this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. After that, though, enjoy the warmer weather because we return to what's average, or at least near normal. 27's our average, and that's pretty much exactly where we're going to be next week.
Can you believe we got 50 degrees as a high in January?
I don't know if we should be concerned or not, but I'll take it.
A little bit.
We'll pay for it with like an early March deep freeze and a snowstorm
Yeah,
or
it'll be
something.
like 2 again.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's stay positive.
Enjoy
All right.
Positive
Yeah, let's stay positive.
Yes.
Good idea. All right. Thanks, Savannah. 647, Americans' total credit card balance is the highest that it's ever been. It's over $1 trillion now. With totals that high, it's important to understand just how it all can affect us.
Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, is here to give us 3 things you can do to improve your credit score. But first, Michelle Renee, can you just tell us why it's so important?
Chris, Kyrian, credit is important because it follows us throughout our financial lives. Whether you're looking for a loan on a car or mortgage or just applying for utilities, your credit is a major factor.
Understanding your credit is vital for your financial health. Your credit score is based on your credit history, which is a record of loans, money owed, how long you've had credit, and whether or not you pay your bills on time. Charlie Monkwitz, a consultant with M3 Financial, says
big swing in credit score can mean big dollars in how much you pay when you borrow money.
if you pay more than the minimum balance due, you can reduce your principal balance, save on interest, and pay off your debt faster, versus only paying your minimum balance, which could take years. Step 1 to improving your credit is paying your bills on time. Sarah Brendan, the first vice president of Park Bank, says budgeting can help make on-time payments. She uses Excel to budget and is able to include extra funds for bills that may vary, as well as deadlines to never miss a payment.
My advice is to understand how much money you have flowing into your household and how much money you have flowing out of your household, and then allocating those amounts into different categories, whether it's housing, utilities, things like your phone bill, credit cards. Because on-time payments, when we're talking about credit and building credit, it's the most important factor towards building and maintaining a positive credit score.
The second step is try not to borrow more than 30% of your allowable limit. For example, if you have a $10,000 credit limit, try not to borrow more than $3,000.
Rating agencies don't look favorably on that, and they tend to give you a lower credit score.
Muckwitz says while the highest score you can receive is 850, if you have a score of 670 or above, you're doing pretty well. Step 3 to improving your credit is to check your credit report and dispute if needed.
Get the history, and if there's something on there that doesn't look right, you can dispute it and get it cleared up. In fact, if you don't do that, you're probably going to be paying more the rest of your life every time you borrow money.
Everyone is entitled to a free credit report. You can check each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, free once annually.
We are all human and life happens. People do use their credit cards. If you do borrow more than 30%, or maybe you have multiple credit cards, the best thing you can do is pay the minimum amount on all and overpay on the one with the highest interest. Another option is overpaying on the one with the smallest balance until that debt is paid off and you can move on to the next.
All right, all good tips there to keep us on top of things in this life. Michelle Renee, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, coming up in the morning sprint, a change you'll soon see on Google Maps.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. We're back at the morning sprint right after this. .653, time for the morning sprint.
New this morning, the Fitchburg Police Department is dispelling rumors that it is involved with ICE. In a Facebook post, the FPD investigated rumors and found there was nothing to substantiate it. The department says police officers do not ask about a person's immigration status. The clarification comes amid federal efforts to deport undocumented immigrants.
UW Athletics says that it'll be looking into accusations of mistreatment by former basketball player Tessa Towers. She made the claims in a TikTok post. Towers says that women's basketball coach Marissa Mosley, among other things, made her sign a release form to access Towers' therapy sessions. UW Athletics said it would not comment on the health-related claims.
Former UW lacrosse chancellor Joe Gow is suing the University of Wisconsin system. He is filing a federal lawsuit in hopes of getting reinstated as a professor at the campus. In December 2023, the UW Board of Regents removed Gow as chancellor because of complaints that him and his wife took part in pornographic videos online. And through his attorney, Wausau Mayor Doug Denny is calling for an ethics complaint filed against him to be dismissed. This all stems from the ballot drop box removal in late September. The letter from the attorney says Denny did not do anything illegal or unethical. 8 people filed the complaint with the City of Wausau Ethics Board.
Check your refrigerator for Kirkland's signature smoked salmon. It's under a Class 1 recall because of listeria contamination. Officials say people who are exposed to the fish are likely to suffer serious health problems. The FDA has said there are no reported illnesses at this point. The recalled salmon is from Acme Smoked Fish Corporation.
This morning, all eyes are on Wall Street as stocks look to rebound. It's due to a China-based startup's new tool called DeepSeek. The year-old company revealed its own ChatGPT-like artificial intelligence model, R1. Analysts say it has the abilities of other models, but it's cheaper to operate. DeepSeek says it spent less than $6 million to train the new model.
Soon, Google Maps users are going to see the body of water south of the country labeled as the Gulf of America. President Donald Trump calling for the name change in an executive order. Users in Mexico will still see it as the Gulf of Mexico, as it's been most commonly known since the mid-17th century. The rest of the world will see both names.
A new study says heart disease remains the leading cause of the death in the U.S. The study by the American Heart Association found cardiovascular diseases still claim more lives than cancer and accidental deaths combined. People are living longer with cardiovascular diseases thanks to advancements in medicine, but high blood pressure and obesity rates, both of which fuel heart disease, continue to rise.
Well, it'll still be breezy today, but at least we're looking at a little bit warmer of temperatures this afternoon. 46, briefly down to 38, but then temps rebound. We're back to 50 Thursday, 40 Friday. Cooler this weekend, but even those 30s are above average. And then by next week, we're back to near normal.
Back to normal, back to those 20s. But we'll take the high temps for now.
Yeah, enjoy them while we have them.